What is up, YouTube? It is the Ville Outdoors here. Today is August 14th of 2024. We are here back at the Saltwater. Relatively similar spot to where I was yesterday, where I did all the sabiki rig fishing. But today we're going to switch it up a little bit and be doing some micro fishing. So I have my ultralight setup. It's not a true ultralight, but it's the Ugly Stick 6-foot medium light. This is the Ugly Stick Elite. The reel doesn't really matter too much for what we're going to be doing today, but that is the Shimano Sedona 2500 HG with 6-pound monofilament. But the real deal, which you probably won't be able to see right now, is the Owner Half Moon Tanago hook that I have there at the end of it. But before we can do any micro fishing, the first step is to get some bait, which is what I have this here for. It's pretty beat up, but this is a net. Obviously I wouldn't recommend buying this net, but it's the common net you find in pretty much every beach shop across America, and very cheaply made. But this is gonna do to get us some shrimp and other stuff that we can use for bait later in the night, and we're gonna see what cool species we can find. Hopefully there's some interesting stuff that shows up. I may or may not film a whole lot of cast to catch process, or at least bait to catch process, and that because I don't want to give away too much of the spot. Not because I don't want you guys to succeed, but if someone else picks up on where I'm at, it may cause trouble for the fish that we may encounter in this video. I say may encounter because I don't know if we'll see them for sure, but what some people do is they go around and gather the different more exotic species of fish or tropical species of fish that stray into these waters in the summertime, and they'll try and sell them online to different aquarium hobbyists and stuff like that. And that's not in the best interest of fish, because when profit's involved, it usually leads to people getting greedy and they take more than they need, and then the fish are gone. So yeah, not great for that to happen. So I'm gonna maybe film some of the fish that we can encounter on my phone, because that'll show less of a wider view of where I'm at. But we'll see how the night goes. But I'm gonna gather some bait with a net. I got a little Ziploc bag in my pocket that's gonna double as our bait bag for the night, and then we're gonna get after it and see what we can find. It is roughly 8:15, a little bit past that right now. Low tide peak is around 10:30, and that's what we're wanting to be fishing for these micros. So yeah, tide is still dropping right now, so the water will clear up as the tide drops, hopefully, but it's a little murky right now. Check out this guy. Now this guy we netted because he was too small to hook, but that there is a northern pipefish. He's squirming all over the place. We're gonna handle him as little as possible, but there he is. Pretty cool little guy. Definitely too small for a hook, so we're gonna let him go. That doesn't count for the species list since we didn't catch him hook and line, but still a cool catch that I thought you guys would like to see. Other than that, we haven't really seen much of interest. I saw one short big eye, which are pretty easy to spot because you can see their bright orange eye reflecting back at you. But he was not really in the mood to eat, and he was not in a good spot for me to put a bait in front of his face either, so maybe we could have got him if he was positioned a little bit better. But haven't seen much else. Check this little guy out. This is a short big eye. Now this one I netted here in my net. I already have this species on hook and line. I caught this fish off camera on a different day with a friend of mine, but that is a beautiful short big eye right here. This is a species of deep water fish that strays into these waters, but very, very cool. So I'm gonna take a shot and release this guy. All right guys, our short big eye is going to go back in the water here. There he goes. Hope the crab's going to try and get him. He's safe. He's good. Well guys, we made it here to our second spot and we got ourselves a little starfish here. We're gonna go ahead and stick him back on the wall, but I figured he was pretty cool looking and I thought I would show you guys. We're gonna let him go back on the wall where he came from. The water is up a little higher than I expected it to be. The visibility still isn't the greatest, but I'm gonna try and make do. If this doesn't work, I do have a backup plan. It's not the backup plan I would like, but it's a backup plan. There's a sea robin down there. Let's see if we can at least get this guy to bite. Got him. Let's see, what species do we have here? Pretty much all sea robins I've caught so far have been northern. And that is another northern there. You can tell by that black blotch on the dorsal fin. I don't know if I'll show it again. There it is. See that black blotch there? That means northern sea robin. And then there's not one that we were looking to catch as a new species today. There he is. Pretty cool little guy. We'll take a shot. Alright guys, our little sea robin here is ready to go back. Let's see, let him get acclimated back to the water. He's going to go off in just a second here. There he goes. He's good to go. Alright guys, our second hook and line species here is this little winter flounder. He had no problem inhaling the shrimp. We're going to go ahead and take a shot and we're going to let this guy go. This is my third winter flounder on hook and line. Alright, well my winter flounder flopped back in the water without me getting a good release on him, but I do see another sea robin we can try and catch. And hopefully it's something other than a northern, but the odds aren't favorable there. Alright, so it has been determined that our sea robin is indeed another northern sea robin, but it was worth a try. There's another one there too. Do I try and catch every single sea robin until one's different? I don't know, they all look the same. This one at least gave us our bait back. There's a look at him one more time. Got cool little wings on him. Alright, let's carefully thread our little piece of shrimp back on the hook there. You can kind of see him there, but that is a dusky smoothhound shark. And he's swimming right towards my waders. Now, despite the name shark, they don't actually have, shark teeth. They're dogfish, I guess you would call it. So they aren't very harmful to humans, although I wouldn't recommend lipping one. That's kind of cool. Decent amount of life at this spot, just not the life we're looking for. We have here our second winter flounder of the day. Since we didn't get a release on the last one, here we go. Come on, buddy. There you go. Check this little guy out. Make sure my camera lens is clear. That is a spot fin butterfly fish, I believe. That is super cool. Go ahead and take a shot and we're going to release this guy. Alright guys, our spot fin butterfly fish is going to go back in the water. Look how cool that guy is. He's hanging to my hand because they like structure. He's feeding off of it. There he goes. There's a short big eye hanging out right there. Alright guys, well we finally got another species of fish, except this is one that we already have. This is a what do you call it? Summer flounder. That's the word I was looking for. And I also wanted to specify that that spot fin butterfly fish was not on hook and line as much as I would like it to be. So maybe that'll come at one point in time when the strays are a little bit bigger here, but for now
we just caught it with our hands. So I'm going to take a shot of this summer flounder, then we're going to let this guy go. Tanago is just going to slip on out, just like so. And there we have our summer flounder. Go on, be free. There it goes. Back to the depths. Well, you know you've been standing still for too long when there's crabs crawling up your legs like they're pilings. But we're still out here looking for fish. The only species I've seen that would be new for me was the red goatfish, which spooked after a spot croaker came along and ate the bait instead. And what else did we see that would have been new? Oh yes, the spot fin butterfly fish, which is too small for me to even hook. So yeah, that's how things are going right now, but we'll see. Well guys, look what we have there. That is a new species for us. On hook and line, we got him on a tiny piece of silverside cutbait. I believe this is what's known as an Atlantic big eye. It's a species of big eye, but different than the other one we've seen. So I'm going to get this guy unhooked very quickly here. Don't want to handle him out of the water too long. Sorry for the noise, there's a train going on in the background. Alright, got our Atlantic big eye unhooked here. I'm going to go ahead and put the release on video for you guys on my phone, that way you can see it a little bit better. Alright, our Atlantic big eye is going to go back in the water. Very cool species of fish. There he goes. Awesome. If that's not an Atlantic big eye and that's a glass eye, I'll correct it in the subtitles. Alright guys, it is just about an hour after peak low tide, which means eventually the tide is going to start coming back in. You probably can't see it from there, but there is a short big eye hanging out in all this debris. And I just confirmed with my friend who is a, I guess he's a fish biologist, that big eye, we call it, was a glass eye and not an Atlantic big eye, which is still a new species for me, but not the one we thought it was. But I am completely okay with that, because it is a new species nonetheless, and that makes species 174 for me. Got it on a piece of silverside cut bait like I have rigged up right here on the Tanago hook. So very cool that we were able to get that. Looks like there's some sort of flounder here. Let's see if he's interested in bait. It's probably just another winter flounder like most of the flounders have been today. Can't even see my bait. Nope, I think he went for it at least. He had it again. He's definitely hungry. There's a crab right in front of him now. That could complicate things. Oh, I got him that time. Let's see what we got here. Yep, it's what I thought it was going to be. Another winter flounder. The last time I did some micro fishing here, I caught my first winter flounder. And then I caught a second one after that. And then tonight has just been full of winter flounder. The most abundant fish species I've seen here, for sure, other than northern sea robin. He's got a smidge of our bait, so we're gonna steal that back from him. Put that back on the hook. Alright guys, we've exited our last spot, and now we are here at our final spot for the day. And this is either gonna work or it's not gonna work. I'm not gonna be really microfishing this spot, where I'm using Tanago hooks. Instead, I'm using a sabiki rig baited with fish bites, and we're either going to get bites doing this or not. So yeah, we'll see. I only intend to do this for about a half hour. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Alright, I'm about 10 minutes from calling in a night. It is just about 12:10 a.m. right now. So we are officially at August 15th. And I intended on coming to this spot and fishing this particular rig for blotched cusk eel, which are another stray that sometimes show up in this body of water here. It's been a little while since the last one was observed, and I'm not sure if anything has changed with their occurrences after the tropical storm that came up this way. So I'm gonna give it another 10 minutes or so, but most likely we're gonna have to call it on that. Alright guys, I think that is going to do it for today. It is just about to turn 12:30 a.m. so it's been a good solid 4 hours of fishing. Didn't have all the luck I hope we would have, but it turned out to be an alright night, as we did get one new species on the board, and we also encountered some other cool ocean life that we don't usually get to see back home in PA, being that there's no ocean there. So nice little break this week, fishing the saltwater instead of freshwater week after week. But this is probably be my last attempt at saltwater until probably towards the end of the month, end of August or early September even. So we'll see what else comes up. I didn't get anything on this little sabiki rig here that I had set up, although my bottom two baits were emptied again for a second time. So something was biting them, just probably something that was too small for me to hook, or it was just biting so light that I couldn't even feel it to set a hook on. This is a medium heavy rod that I had this set up on, which is not ideal for this fishing. I just didn't feel like taking apart my Tanago rig and then putting this on there, although that probably would have been more ideal for feeling the bites, which is probably what I'll end up doing next time I try this. But something took the bait, so it means we had something going that, but it just didn't get hooked. So it is what it is. We tried, we failed, but it's all right. We did get one new species on the board, and that was a glass eye, not an Atlantic big eye like I had said when I initially caught the fish. So very cool. It's somewhat related to the short big eye, meaning that they're both species of big eye, but different families technically. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know I didn't talk a whole lot, I didn't film a whole lot, but that's because I was very focused on catching new species of fish, and we only caught one, so it is what it is. But also I was fishing in some areas where you don't want to be too loud, so that's the reason for that. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next episode of the Ville Outdoors. Not sure what type of episode that is going to be, but we will find out, so stay tuned. I'll see you guys next time.